Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm here to be talking about Helluva Boss Season 2, Episode 7, which is another Fizzaroli-centered episode where there's this big yearly concert thing that he always tries to do, and he says he likes it and he feels this pressure and all to do it, despite people in his life like Asmodeus, who he has a really close good relationship with, telling him you don't have to do this, you shouldn't push yourself through this, but he feels he needs to do this because of Mammon, who's another one of the, like Asmodeus and Queen Bee and all these different characters are like the 7 deadly sins, which are like the hierarchy in the world of hell here. And he feels the need to, since he feels like Mammon's done so much for him and all that, so he's putting all this pressure on himself and all to do it. And since, Blitzo's the main character of the show and he kind of needs to be here, I guess, Asmodeus has Blitzo basically tag along either to convince him to not do it or just to be his bodyguard. And you get a cool dynamic, there with them, after the previous episode, reunite him and, just being able to see that play out along with seeing the new character of Mammon, who is a big figure in this world of hell. And yeah, so this episode, I do want to say, as in the title description, I will be talking spoilers. So I waited a few days and I've watched the episode at least twice now to just give it some time before I could really dive in, because to talk about these type of episodes for Helluva Boss, like I try to do, is it's fun to just dive into the spoiler aspects and just talk about what happens in each episode, since usually I do like to do a full season format, but it's more fun for this since it releases, the times of release for episodes is so scattered and isn't really like dropped. Like if it was like a once a week thing, I could wait to binge, but since it's a monthly thing, it's fun to just talk about each episode. And here, what I really love is like my favorite ship and couple in this show is Asmodeus and Fizzaroli, and this episode they get a lot of great stuff together. You can see more of them talk, and see their dynamic, and you really see Asmodeus really does care for him and all, which we know about in like the previous episode, he cares and all, but like seeing it more re-emphasized here is great. And to see what plays out throughout the episode, by the end he's willing to admit, because it goes against his brand of being in charge of like the lust ring and all that, he says, I don't care, I love this guy and all that. And after that confrontation with Mammon at the end, which I was like, okay, and Mammon leaves off a little thing saying you're gonna regret that, similar to when Stella at the beginning of the season said that to Stolas or whatever. So I was just like, is this a potential foreshadowing thing? I'm not really sure, but I did think that the episode was pitch perfect in my opinion. For example, it basically, just from the title, it said it was gonna be like kind of like a musical thing, and there are so many good songs in this episode that are really catchy. Two of my favorites was the one, I believe it's called Crooked, with Fizzaroli and Ozzy. They sing like a duet together. That song was wonderful. The animation throughout the episode, by the way, stellar work. The colors, how they, I really love the different type of colors and all, how the characters are, like, it's just so much talent to do all this type of stuff, which I'm no artist or anything, but just watching the creativity and from the fandom and all, like everyone hypes up and is so excited when each episode drops. It's so wonderful to be able to see that and be, I guess, sort of a part of it, because I interact with some people online and all. So to see it all play out in the episodes is really cool. And the song afterwards, which basically it's called, I'll just say it's called F.U. That one was so hilarious and could be kind of relatable for a lot of people who are sick of, their professions that they're part of. Maybe they have a boss that they don't like and they're just in a situation maybe similar to that. And the song is hilarious. It's really well written. A lot of the songs in this episode are well written and they're funny. The performances of the singing in the songs are really good. Even the one with two twin girls, which, I mean, the main two songs I love was the Asmodeus Fizzaroli duet and the FU song. Those two are my standouts by far. And I liked seeing, more of this character of Mammon. Like each episode, it feels like, especially, like this one is like kind of like a showing a different side, like a different perspective of, another part of this universe. Like I remember episode 8, you saw a lot of Queen Bee. Episode 7, you saw a lot of Ozzy's domain and everything. So episodes like this that do world building and do good character beats and themes, and on top of the great animation, those are the perfect type of episodes for me. And I really liked seeing Fizzaroli's journey throughout the episode, because his character is like he's starting to become my favorite, low-key, like one of my favorites, because he seems like such a good heart, sweet person. And seeing his interaction with the mute kid, that part was really great. And I saw a lot of people were saying some things about it, a lot of positive things, saying that it was really sweet and nice of the team to do that. A lot of gross stuff though I've been seeing, so I'm not even going to mention that, but ridiculous. But I thought that it was nice, and it really adds to, like, part of it is like he's so conflicted because he feels this need, like if he didn't get picked up by Mammon, and he would be nothing. He wouldn't have his current love, Asmodeus. He wouldn't have this fame and power and all, which, I mean, they say is not true and all, but it kind of is, which is the part of the dilemma that maybe people that are in toxic relationships can think about, is that they have this self-doubt and all, and seeing it play out. I love, like, I'm fine with angst and all if it has a good ending at the end, and for now it looks like there was a good ending. He leaves, he still has his crush and all, and it seems all great. He had this big triumphant song, but there could be implications for something going forward. So it's really interesting. The episode left me really excited to see more of this show, but I'm really wondering if we're going to get another episode with these characters, or is it going to go back to the Imp Gang, because we haven't really seen them in a minute. So, but I would, like I said, I would love a spinoff with Ozzy and Fizzaroli. Those are two of my favorite characters in this whole show. I'm not even lying. And their dynamic is great together. Their duet was awesome. The music was great. The whole setting was really fun. Mammon is phenomenally portrayed, like hilarious. He's Australian, so that made it kind of funnier. Not and some of the little jabs that they in the write-in room there that they had, like you also had this creepy fan turned stalker evil person that was against Fizzaroli. So I think that was kind of a little nod and wink at the crazies that hate this show and are obsessed with with the people like Viv and all, who constantly trash and stalk them. And I really think that it's really self-aware in that aspect, where you're in terms of the write-in and what they did with points like that. So I thought that was really interesting to see. But overall, this was another fantastic episode from the team that worked on this show. Well performed with the voice work, the animation, the music for the most part. Pretty much all part was great. And I had a lot of fun with this episode. I was glad that they were able to get this thing out. And what a crazy time to be a fan of Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel with all the crazy news coming out. But again, those were my thoughts on Season 2, Episode 7. What do y'all think of this episode? Please let me know down below in the comment section. If you want to hit the bell as well to get notified when I upload, and subscribe, that would mean so much. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!